So, hey everyone, my name is Cindy. You're watching the live show. My camera looks a little bit too high. Let me just put it a little bit more like that. Hi. so, um, I'm Cindy from City Ministry, and I'm talking about anxiety, fear, stress, worry, depression. So, that's what we're talking about. This is part 6, if I'm not mistaken. But before we start, thank you so much, every single one of you who comments, who emails, who ask questions, who buys the books. Thank you so much. Who buys the coaching course? And for the coaching course, let me get my banner because for the first 10 people, it's just a limited time only. The first 10 people, they will get a free 30-minute Zoom call with me when they buy the coaching course. It's a limited time deal, so check if you can do that. Okay, if you can be one of those who can get that free coaching call with me. Okay, so we're talking about anxiety, fear, stress, worry, depression. Actually, all types of mental illness you can place underneath that. What I really have to preface or like a disclaimer or say again and again is I'm not denying that you have that. I'm not saying, oh, you're just making it's simply between your ears. You don't have it. I'm not denying that the anxiety is there or the depression or the whatever mental illness is there. I know those things are real. But what I am showing you is that you do not have to stay with those things. You can change it. So it's not a denial. Oh, I don't have anxiety. No, that's not it. And also, it's not because I'm also a certified coach. That it's not that I don't want you to listen to what your gut feeling is saying. If there's a person in your life and you feel like a fear for that person, and that's like a mechanism of, hey, you know, keep an eye on that person. That person might not be a good one. I'm also not talking about that type of fear that warrants you. I'm not talking about that type of fear. If you got that, great. But I'm talking about fear that oppresses you, fear that just pops up every single time you have to do a presentation or you have to speak in front of people, and then there's fear, or you have a fear of heights. So all those type of phobias. I'm talking about anxiety in the heart that causes depression. I'm also not talking about anxiety where you are misdiagnosed. So you got anxiety, but actually there's a sickness, there's an illness, but they just rub it off, just tell you, no, it's just anxiety. It's just simple anxiety. I know anxiety is not just simple anxiety, you know, but you have to understand where I'm coming from. I'm coming from the word. So I'm not talking to people who do not know Jesus in a way I do, but actually I'm talking to the new born again Christians who said yes to Jesus because you got something different. So that's why I'm teaching this way. If I'm coaching, I'm not saying these type of things because it's not, I cannot bring them to the word in that sense. So I have to place this disclaimer, place this in front of the session. So I'm not trying to renounce your emotional space. Yeah, but Cindy, I'm in fear because of this. Yeah, I understand. So it's not a denial. It's just showing you there's a way out. That's the thing. Okay, today I cannot be here for a long time. So in the time span that we have, I think it's around 20 minutes. I'm going to show you that if you want to know more about what I've already talked about, you really have to listen to the first 5 parts. Otherwise, you won't understand why I'm talking about this today. So let me say this again because I get the word again, being misdiagnosed. There are people, you have been misdiagnosed. So what you think is anxiety is actually not anxiety. For that, you really need to go and get a second opinion. Is this really true? They're just people, they will get second opinions because they're like, no, my body is still, having this and this and this. My heart is still feeling like that. And that probably is not a simple anxiety, as they say. So please, if you think that you have anxiety, but your body is, acting up in a certain type of way, have it checked out. Well, what is this? Is it really anxiety or is it something else? So let me say that again, like that. Okay, so now what is it actually that you can do against it? There's something that I did not talk about, but we also have to talk about that before I'm going to tell you what you can do against anxiety, stress, worry, and all these type of things. Now, think about it. There are people in our vocabulary who say, I was worried sick. I mean, that's like a big thing, you know. I'm so sorry I didn't greet anyone, but let me get this through and then I'll greet you. Some people, they're worried sick. So you see, worry is no good. It's no good. Should not be a friend of ours. You know, worry is just, being stressed out. In Dutch, we say, gestrest de kip, actually saying, stress like a chicken. Have you seen chicken? You know, when they walk, it's like, hey, calm down, you know. So we see it's not like a good thing. It's not in a good way. Fear, people are very fearful. You sometimes don't even want to be around them because everything brings them fear. I remember years back, one of my children was having their, I think, fifth or sixth birthday. And so there were children coming over for the party. And I had the most childlike movie that they could watch. And I was always someone, I would watch it prior to the children watching. If it has something in it, then I'm like, or it could bring fear, they would not watch it. So, and my children knew that. So there was nothing in this movie. And the movie was, um, is it this rat? Yeah, it's a rat cooking. Oh, what happens to my, there's something happening to my camera, but I don't understand what's happening. Okay. So there's this rat cooking. There was this child and she was so afraid. Oh, now it stops.